Welcome in, everybody, to a special edition of Bayou Bets here on Bet.NOLA.com. I'm Zach Ewing, Devin Jackson, Jim Derry, Spencer Urquhart. The whole crew is here with me. It is a special day in Louisiana indeed. Mobile sports betting is now allowed for the first time in state history as of a couple of hours ago. And so it's all going crazy. If you follow social media, you see a lot of the different bets folks have made already. I think Caesars Sportsbook, our sponsor here at Bet.NOLA.com, posted their first bet was an $85 moneyline bet on the Bengals to beat the Chiefs on Sunday. I've been looking through my app trying to figure out what my first bet is going to be, as I'm sure you guys have. It's like Christmas morning, kind of.
Yeah, most definitely, Zach.
Go ahead, Spence.
Oh, okay, yeah, most definitely. I've been scrolling through it, and I'm kind of liking what they're thinking with the Bengals. That's the one that's been tempting me, and then there's a lot to look at for sure. All the basketball as well.
One thing we know, Zach, is it's going to be fun to scroll through it and actually, the things that we've been talking about for months here on Bet.NOLA.com. You can actually. You don't have to go wait in a line at Harrah's anymore. You don't have to drive out to Mississippi. You can do it all from sitting at home. And the thing that I'm looking forward to most is probably the live betting aspect of it. The live betting, we've run blogs throughout LSU games and Saints games throughout the season, what you could get, and it's no longer what you could get. It's what you can get, right? So to me, that's the part that's the most exciting. And if you have a feel for a way a game's going, you can just wait and make your bets until after the game starts.
Yeah, absolutely. The live betting aspect of it is a huge part of mobile betting. I mean, because when you're at the sports book, you could theoretically do that. But if there's a line to get up to the kiosk, or it's a crowd, or you had to go to the bathroom or something, I mean, you're just going to miss your chance. By the time you get up there, the lines will have changed. When I've got my phone in my hand, it's a lot easier, obviously. And we're going to talk about all of that coming up at 10:15 with Ken Fuchs, who is the director of sports for Caesars Sportsbook, and he is one of their experts for the mobile app. I'd like to invite all of you, leave in the comments in Facebook and YouTube, wherever you are watching, what your first bet was this morning, where you bet it, what app you used, how did it go, how excited are you for it? Are you having any problems with any of the apps? Do you have questions for us? We are happy over the next 30 minutes or so to answer all of those. And, of course, we'll be pumping out content all weekend long about the conference championships in the NFL, about the Super Bowl opening line, which we'll get Sunday night, and just about the launch of mobile betting in Louisiana as we go forward. A very exciting weekend. Devin, I know you were having an issue briefly with location services on your Caesars app, so I don't know if that's an issue that other people had experienced or not, but walk us through that and how you were ultimately able to solve it, or if you were.
Yeah, so I think, and Spencer and I talked about it before we got on the show, I think sometimes it just puts you in a random place. So I think it had me in New Jersey, although I registered in Louisiana, and I have a Louisiana address. So I think, going like in the settings and changing, making sure that your location at the sports book that you're trying to bet with is actually in Louisiana. I think that will help some of the troubleshooting errors that people may have gotten this morning. So that's something to definitely watch out for those who have signed up or are signing up currently.
The current bonus, by the way, at Caesars, it changed when mobile betting went live this morning. It's now, if you bet $20, you get $300 in free bets. So still a very good bonus, still the best one on the market. You get, I think what it is if you bet $20, you get 6 separate free bets worth $50 each. And so you can use those on whatever you want throughout the month of February. You have 30 days to use them. If you win, you get to keep it all. If you lose, well, you didn't lose anything because it was bonus cash. So it's basically gives you a chance to kind of get started, get used to this without really risking anything besides your initial $20. We talked best bets a little bit on At the Book yesterday. That's our weekly Thursday show every Thursday at 4 p.m. Jim, your best bet was the Bengals +7 over the Chiefs. Is that what you're using for some of your bonus cash? Do you have something else in mind? I mean, one thing you'll look as you look through the Caesars app, especially, and the other apps, FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, are all the same way. There's a lot of different odds boosts and parlays that they'll put together for you. And that's sort of meant to tempt you a little bit. But some of them are interesting. Like, you could parlay, for instance, the Pelicans are 5-point underdogs against the Nuggets tonight. Then you also have, I think it's the Heat and the Suns are both big favorites. So like 8 or 9 point favorites. A money line parlay on those three typically would pay like plus 325. Well, Caesars is boosting it to plus 450. So to me, I'm thinking, well, if the Suns and Heat take care of business, now I'm getting plus 450 on the Pelicans. I don't know whether I think they'll win or not against Denver, but that's one of those things they tempt you with. So when you've looked through the app, what have you seen?
I do look at those money boosts. That's probably something I'll get into more later on. But I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. I know I haven't made my first bet yet, but my first bet's probably going to be futures on the Super Bowl to hedge my other Super Bowl bets. Now, we had Adam from Coverage yesterday, and he talked about how it kind of depends. Hedge is never a great thing, and big-time pro bettors don't do a lot of hedging. In my case, I win money no matter what happens with the other three. So I'm looking at making a futures bet on Kansas City to not just protect the investments I have on the other ones, but I want to make sure that I leave the Super Bowl with a profit. And I can do that. I don't like the money line, the number that I have with my other site that I've been using. So the money line on the futures line on Harris on Caesars Sportsbook is way better than what I can get. So my first bet is going to be go on there and take Kansas City. I haven't figured out exactly how much to win the Super Bowl, and then I'm covered on all angles. I may throw a little bit more on San Francisco as well to have every angle covered the way that I want it covered. But I like those future bets. And in the grand scheme of things, it's like Adam said yesterday, they're not great bets in the grand scheme of things, but you can find value on them sometimes. And I think in this aspect, I'm going to go look at those. And then there are some golf bets that I might want to make that I can't make. I just like the wide variety that you have on Caesars. There's so many different things that you can bet between player props and individual golf bets that a little bit more in detail. You don't have to wait as long as some of the other sites. They post them right away or very quickly. And so those are the things that to me are going to catch my eye right off the bat. But I will look at those money boosts on a daily basis for sure. You just have to weigh if it's something you already like, then yeah. But be wary. Don't just go bet a money boost because, hey, this is the deal of the day. I'm going to take this. I mean, that's something you have to be careful about.
Yeah, a couple of things there. One is that hedging doesn't always make sense, but it does. Number one, you're lessening your risk a little bit. Like you said, you're making sure you walk away with something, which emotionally, right? Like after you made some good bets, you want to walk away with something. The other part of that is this is bonus cash. And depending on how much you deposit,
that's right,
you may have quite a bit of bonus cash. And you've got to bet it somewhere. There is an expiration date on this bonus cash. And so if you're already guaranteed to win some money from bets you made previously at a casino or in another state or whatever, or on another app, whatever, I mean, why not? Why not bet that bonus cash? So that's one thing. The other thing is I'll say the parlays and the odds boosts and things like that, they're meant to tempt you. They are. And the reason that the casinos, the sports books will tempt you with those is because they have a greater hold on those. They're going to make money on them in the long run. And they know that. However, that doesn't mean they're not fun. And that's sort of my other point. Is like this is supposed to be fun. I mean, there's a couple of comments on there about, we're going to ruin people's lives and gambling addicts. Listen, responsible gaming is the name of the game. And if you're not having fun, we would encourage you to stop. All of these apps have features where you can take a cool off period. You can limit how much you're on the app. If you feel yourself getting sucked in that sort of way to where you're betting money beyond entertainment money, then you're doing this wrong. I'll just say that out front. And so I hope everybody hears that loud and clear. But it is fun and it is entertainment and it is something you can spend your entertainment dollars on and hopefully win a little bit in the meantime. So Spencer, you mentioned you were talking about the Bengals bet, maybe some basketball bets. We're going to have Ken Fuchs on here in about 5 minutes to talk about some of the Caesars promos and different ways you can use the mobile app. But what are you thinking for that first bet?
I'm leaning toward, like I was saying, the Bengals point spread there. They're getting 7 points. So I was thinking about doing that. I'm not quite confident enough to do the money line. It would be a nice payoff, but I feel like against the Chiefs, it would just I don't see them beating the Chiefs twice. But I do think they could definitely come within 7. I think it's going to be a back and forth contest, probably come down to a field goal or overtime type thing. So I definitely don't think the moment's going to be too big for Joe Burrow. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Cincinnati's got no playoff experience. The Chiefs have done it. But I think Burrow is going to give them quite the run. And the money line might be the move, but I'll probably play it a little safer and go with the Bengals against the spread.
Yeah, and the reasons you're talking about is the reasons why. And we talked about this on At the Book again. I love the over in that game because I do think it turns into something of a shootout. I don't know whether the Chiefs will end up winning by more than 7 or not. It is, hey, call me square. On Monday, I'll be crowing about how much cash is in my square.
It's hip to be square.
Sometimes square bets win. Anyone want to guess Uncle Big Nick's first mobile bet? I'm going to guess.
I think he took the Rams at -3.
Yeah. We just recorded on Datitude. We'll leave you in suspense. We'll have to. We just recorded Datitude. In fact, as soon as our live show is up, I'm done with the show. I just have to post it. I haven't posted it yet. As soon as we're done here, that's what I'll do first. We'll leave the suspense for Datitude. You can go find out what his first bet is. But if you can see what jersey he's wearing, you probably can figure it out.
It starts with a 4 and a 9. I don't know what team that
starts with a 4 and ends with an S. Yeah, something along those lines. Zach, I do want to mention something, and you touched on it, but it kind of bugs me that people are saying that we're the cause of gambling addicts. We're gonna be I've seen this before, that we're the cause of gambling addicts, and that when people create themselves a big hole, it's going to be our fault. Well, guess what? Gambling's been around for a long time. Whether you wanted to go play video poker in a bar that's been around for 25 years, whether you want to go to a casino that's been around for just as long or a little bit longer, whether you want to bet on a football game, if you really want to bet on one, you can find a way for a lot longer than 25 years. All we're doing here at NOLA.com is for people that enjoy it and do it recreationally for the most part, which is what most of us do and have been doing for a long time, we're trying to make it more fun, and we're trying to give you our vision on how to go about betting. Everyone is responsible for their own action in every part of life, and gambling is no different. We're not creating gambling addicts. What we're trying to do here at bet.nola.com is we're trying to make this more fun for everyone. And now that it's out in the open and people are having fun with it. And I know that so many people that are excited about what we've been doing because they've really never been they've never been open to the gambling world. They want to bet 20 or 30 bucks on a game here and there, or 40 bucks on the NFC Championship game, whatever. They've been following Joe Burrow. Maybe they want to bet on Joe Burrow to have more than 286.5 passing yards or whatever it is. This is going to make it more fun. You have to be responsible on your own. You're responsible for your own actions. And again, if you've wanted to gamble before, you could find a way. So what we're doing is just trying to make this thing a little bit more fun.
I think the bottom line is too much of anything is a bad thing, right? I mean, too much eating is a bad thing. Too much drinking is a bad thing. Driving too fast is a bad thing. You have to have moderation in pretty much any aspect of life. And so that's what we're preaching here. And by the way, mobile betting going live in Louisiana is expected to create millions of dollars of revenue for the state. Some of that goes toward early childhood education. Some of it goes toward local government funds. Some of it does go toward a compulsive gambling fund. I mean, to combat that, to make sure that it is not a drain on society. So I just think those comments are misguided. Of course, we're in the world. Maybe we're biased, but that's our view.
Well, and it could be in their defense. It could be maybe they've had an experience with something, whether it's them or a loved one or something. And I get that. It's like any other addiction. I mean, I think we all know someone who's been addicted to either alcohol or drugs or food or whatever else it is. An addiction is an addiction, no matter what it is. And I think some of these things, and I get that they've had their own experiences with them. But not talking about football games is not creating gambleholics, I guess. That everyone has to figure it out for themselves. But I certainly am sympathetic to those who've gone through these things before. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we take that seriously, as I said. I don't want to mince any words about that. That is the way this is going to, that we're going to keep that front and center. So let's shift the conversation. Let's have a little fun. It is the first day of mobile betting in Louisiana. We've got Ken Fuchs, the director of sports for the Caesars Sportsbook, on the air. Hi, Ken. How are you today?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're all right. It's an exciting day here in the great state of Louisiana. We have mobile betting. You've been through a lot of these launches before in various states. Is there any way, sort of from afar, you can gauge the excitement level for Louisiana? I mean, it just seems to me, living here, it's always been a natural fit for this state.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We have been through this, and we've launched our retail books back in September at Horseshoe Bossier City and Harrah's in New Orleans. So we already know how much excitement it is because we see how busy those get, especially on the weekends for NFL. But Louisiana is an amazing sports state, and it's different all across the state. But between the Saints, the Pelicans, LSU, Tulane, there's just so many great teams there, and a lot of loyal fans with a lot of passion. So it should be an amazing weekend.
I know the app and all of its bonuses and all of the different things about it, people are just discovering all of this, and y'all have a massive job of keeping track of everyone's, who gets what bonus and the technology that's required to do that and those sort of things. How do you grease the wheels on that? I mean, I know you have a lot of people working on it, but for people who inevitably there will be a minor problem here or someone who doesn't know how to use the app here, where do people go when they do run into problems?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we work very hard to make sure that everything we do is clear and transparent to the user. Our offer this weekend is bet $20 and get a $300 free bet, whether you win or lose. So if you come in and register, that's guaranteed, and it should show up in your account right away. And if you have questions, we've got plenty of pages and help pages both on the app so that you can go in and you can read, you can learn more information. In fact, right in the app, there's right at the top, there's something that says FAQ in a big banner, and that has a lot of information. And then you can always chat or email our customer support group, and they can help you out too. So, it's our job to make sure that things are as easy as possible for users, and so far, so good today.
The first bet in Louisiana this morning, as y'all published, was a money line bet on Joe Burrow's Bengals, which makes sense because that's become Louisiana's surrogate favorite team now that the Saints are out. As y'all publish that, how do you decide which bets to publicize and say, hey, somebody bet on this? I mean, is there a certain size? Is there obviously the first one is an obvious one. How do you sort of decide to do the PR on that?
Yeah, I mean, really, there's a lot of data involved, right? And there's just knowledge, a lot of local knowledge. I mean, I think we pride ourselves on, we've been in Louisiana since 1999. So we really understand the community. And so, there's a piece of that, and there's a piece of looking at the data, of course, what people like. And Joe Burrow is hometown favorite. He's clutch. It's incredible. I think he is the first #1 draft pick to go to a championship game in his second year. So, as far as a Super Bowl, he'd be one of the first. I think there's only 3 or 4 second-year players that have ever made it, and the names are incredible when you look at the history of that. So, for us, when we look at matchups, we really want to see a good matchup, one that we know fans will be interested in, one that might have some interesting storylines as well. And we use all of that and kind of put it in a mix, and then it comes out and we see what happens.
Talking with Ken Fuchs. He is the head of sports at Caesars Sportsbook, and we appreciate you being here, Ken.
Got it.
On the day of mobile launch in Louisiana for mobile sports books, what are some features as we talk about the Caesars Sportsbook app that people may not realize are there when they first open it up, or if they haven't used it before? What are some of your favorite features that people will discover here in the coming days?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is just how easy it is to use. You go in, you register, enter your information, deposit through PayPal or through your bank or debit or credit card. It's very, very straightforward. And then you go in and all your markets are right there. And we try and put a lot of the local ones up front so you can see your favorite teams. Otherwise, you just navigate by sport and you can click in, tap into a game, and then you can get a whole bunch of other markets. So if you want to bet, same game parlay on one of the championship games this weekend, or you just want to do a player prop, on one of your favorite NBA players. Is very, very easy to find. And then, as you go in, I think one of the things that's very unique about our app is it's tied to Caesars Rewards. And so that allows you, every time you make a bet, whether you win or lose, your payout of that bet or potential payout turns into rewards credits. And then you can turn those into a lot of things. You can turn them into free bets. You can turn it into, experiences or hotel rooms or tickets. The Caesars empire has so many different things that you can do with those rewards credits. We want to make sure we're giving back to our fans. And so that's a big part of it. And then as you go in, you can really explore a lot of different features, from the ability to cash out on a game, the ability to parlay a lot of different things together to build a card so that you can really try and see what you can do if you really have a lot of belief in a lot of different teams for a day or a weekend. So I think as people explore, they'll find the different things that they like and they enjoy. And our job is just to make sure we put it front and center and make it easy to use.
If you do want to sign up for the Caesars Sportsbook app and you haven't done so already, we encourage you to go to NOLA.com/Caesars. You get that bonus. And so again, that current bonus right now, Ken, a $20 bet on anything, and you get $300 in free bets.
That's right. That's right.
So I could go bet $20 on anything from tennis to snooker to the NFC Championship game, and I will get the $300 in credits. And then the credits, so the way that will work, let's explain that to people. When you get the betting credit money, you then have, is it 30 days to bet that money?
I believe it's 30 days to bet that money. It comes as 6 free bets of $50 each, so you can use them any way you want, as you said. If you bet $20, it'll just show up when you go into your bet slip. Once you've made a bet, chosen a bet, and you go into your bet slip, you'll see something that says free bet bonus, and you can apply that to any bet once you're in there. And
once you make that bet, if you win, then that's money in the bank.
It is. Do with it whatever you want.
And then at that point, once you get through the bonus, then you can withdraw any amount, and away you go.
That's right. Yep.
We do want to we just had a brief conversation earlier about responsible gaming, and I know that Caesars is big into that as well. There are some features on the app that kind of help with that. A cool-off feature, a take a break feature, a limit on how long you're on the app. Explain some of those to our viewers, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want people to have fun with the app. It's incredible to sit through a game and watch and have a little action, but we also want to make sure we put the tools in people's control so that they can have a good experience that they're comfortable with. So there's plenty of information on the site about organizations you can reach out to, or you can always call our customer support. We have hotlines, but in the app itself, you can go in, you can set limits for how much you can bet, you can set limits for time, you can set limits for how much you deposit. So it really allows, I think, the customer to make sure that they're having a fun experience within a range that they're comfortable with. And that's very important that we do that both with, information and education. And then we also do it through tools and control in the app.
Ken, Jim Berry here. I'd like to ask about, we talked about the bets, the bonus bets that you have now, but for those who've already put in deposits, can you explain a little bit, is that also 30 days, whatever bonus match that we've received already, you have 30 days to make those bonus match bets, and then they go away as well?
Yeah, so we had a pre-launch offer, and that offer was a bonus cash offer on a deposit as well as on registration. So you've got that will turn into cash as you bet through. There's a betting requirement, so as you bet through the betting requirement, that then translates into cash that you can withdraw, and you have 30 days to use that as well. So there should be, with NFC AFC Championship, a lot of great basketball games, the Super Bowl coming up, a lot of good college basketball too. There's plenty in there to have fun with.
I want to make it clear too, whatever you bet first, if you got a bonus match, is those first bets, that whatever you bet up through however much your match is it's first coming out of your bonus match?
For anybody that signed up today and did bet 20, get 300, you can bet those $50 free bets anytime, any order. You can use them today, you can use them in a week, doesn't matter, in terms of you can use your real cash or you can use that. For anybody that signed up before today with the bonus cash, you bet your cash first, that's in your account. And when you get to the betting requirement, which is pretty much the match of your bonus amount, then everything else shifts over to cash, and you can bet that and withdraw it. But your cash bets, you're right, your cash bets first. And if you make a bet of $100, you have $50 of cash, our system will automatically take $50 from your cash, $50 from your bonus pool, put that together and make it bet for you.
I see.
So that's automatic 50-50 split. You can't adjust those values.
It's automatic 50-50 split. It'll always take your real cash first and then the bonus cash for the offer that we had before we went live. Yep.
Got it. And so, as Ken said, a lot of basketball, little USA, Canada soccer on Sunday you could bet on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff available out there. And another cool thing, I think, are the sort of odds boosts and parlays that y'all put together. One of them I saw out there this morning, I was just talking about earlier. The Pelicans are 5-point underdogs against the Denver Nuggets tonight. Also, you could parlay them with I believe it's the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat, who are both fairly big favorites. And a money line parlay on those three would typically pay plus 325 in that neighborhood, but you're boosting it to plus 450. Where do those odds boosts come from? Are those locally targeted, or what should people look for on those?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think now they're 4-point dogs tonight, so the lines moved a little bit. But every day we come in with fresh boosts and fresh promotional offers. So you just check the site, and on the app at the top, there's a thing that says boost, and then you can filter by sport or by game. And then we have on the bottom of the app, there's a little button called promos, so you can see all the different promos of things you can do to earn free bets. And every day we come up with different boosts. There's typically anywhere from 12 to 25. They're based on local sporting events. They're based on big national games. They're based on things that we think are interesting matchups. But it's just I think a fun way to give a little bit back, create a little bit more excitement. Obviously, as you go into a big NFL weekend, there'll be a number that show up around the games this weekend for Rams, 49ers, and for Chiefs and Bengals. And so just go in there, and refresh, because there's always something new in there.
As Richard notes on YouTube, Derby futures are coming too, and that's always a difficult puzzle. But if you follow horse racing, man, this is the right time of year to get into it as well.
I mean, look, you can't, in terms of sports, like the next few weeks, like this is what people live for, right? You've got pretty much almost everything going, and it's a tremendous amount of fun. And hopefully people will give it a try and see what happens.
Well, Ken, we appreciate you joining us. Ken Fuchs is the head of sports at Caesars Sportsbook. Anything you'd like to say to the people of Louisiana here before we let you go?
No, we've been part of the community since 1999. We work obviously with you guys and the Pelicans and LSU and and the Saints, and so we really enjoy being in the state. We invest a lot in our properties there. So come on down to Harrah's, New Orleans, or Horseshoe, Bossier City. You can check out our sports books there too, in terms of retail, and watch games and hang out. And then we really look forward to getting feedback on the app from everybody this weekend and over the next few weeks, and hope everybody has a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ken. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right. That's Ken Fuchs. He is the head of sports at Caesars Sportsbook. And we're off and rolling, guys.
We are. I'm glad Devin changed that real quick, so I wasn't the big picture there. I'm still a little confused. So I don't know if I should have asked the question, but so when we bet, let's say we have a $200. Say we deposited $200, and we have a $200 match, and we want to bet $100 on the Bengals this week. Does that mean that we have a $200 bet? Is that the way you understand it?
I think it depends on which bonus you're using. The bonus that came out today is a free bet, and so that will come to you in increments of six $50 bets that you can just go ahead and use anytime you want. The deposit match from earlier, which I think is the bonus that we all signed up with, that would mean anything you bet. It sounds like, okay, if I bet $20, $10 is coming out of the cash you deposited,
okay,
and $10 is coming out of your bonus money. And so if you want to bet 20, it essentially halves your risk. But it's not something you can just take the bonus cash and bet through that first. So that's the answer on that one.
I think I get it now. We'll find. You know what? The best way to find out is to actually go make a bet and see what happens when you make the bet. Right? Yeah.
No, that's right. And we and listen, we do want. I'm just going to laugh for a second here. We do want people to give us feedback, not only on Caesars, the FanDuel app, the DraftKings app, the BetMGM, the Barstool app, all came out today as well. If you're having a particularly good or bad experience with one of them, let us know. Drop us a line on the Bet.NOLA social media channels. Join the show, Bayou Bets. By the way, Bayou Odds and Ends. We've had Odds and Ends since the beginning of football season. We're changing the name for the start of Louisiana mobile betting, and it is now Bayou Bets. So tune into Bayou Bets at 4 o'clock on Monday. Give us a comment. Let us know, hey, the Barstool app's fantastic. I'm having this problem with MGM. Whatever the case is, we want to know about it. We are going to ask people these questions. We're going to get the answers for you. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have all the answers right now. It's confusing. Each one works just a little bit differently. The point is there is free money in it for you, or at least risk-free bets in it for you, and you can kind of go from there. But we want to know. And so 4 p.m. on Monday is Bayou Bets.
We don't want feedback from Uncle Big Nick.
Well, we're going to get that whether we want it or not.
That's true.
So
sure.
That's how that's going to go. And then 4 p.m. Thursday is At the Book, where we're live from Harrah's New Orleans Casino to talk more about the weekend in betting ahead. And then we're going to bring back the Fantasy Roundup too, Spencer, starting Super Bowl week at 3:30 on Tuesdays. Talk a little Super Bowl prop action, some DFS, get into some fantasy basketball. So we have that for you as well, 3:30 on Tuesdays. Want to get your final thoughts, guys. It's launch day. I know it's exciting for all of us. Spencer Urquhart, your final thoughts on this launch day.
All righty. Yeah, I'm really excited, of course. Just can't wait to get up in there and start placing a few bets. Not too crazy, just trying to pick my spots. And another thing I'd like to point out is they got NASCAR futures up. NASCAR starting up in a few weeks. Got the Daytona 500 race winner futures, Cup Series champion futures. So I might have to get in on that as well, besides the football and basketball, and it's just cool to see all the different stuff out there. Besides, I know the football, that's the thing that's going to have the most eyeballs, but it's just cool the diversity that they have on there as far as the difference. Well, then we'll have March Madness coming up here soon. So it's like he had said, there's going to be there's a lot going on, a perfect time for it to launch, because with all the different sports going on, hopefully baseball too, assuming they can get past the lockout.
Spencer, when is Daytona this year? It's certainly they're not doing it the same day as the Super Bowl, are they?
Oh, it's the Sunday after the Super Bowl.
It's the Sunday. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what then. You're the NASCAR guy here. The week at Bayou Bets and At the Book, the week after the Super Bowl, you're hosting the dang show on Daytona, man. Because I need some help on my Daytona futures. I need some help on NASCAR.
I got y'all.
Spencer will be the guy for that. Devin Jackson, your final thoughts on launch day here in Louisiana?
Yeah, just excited to be able to do it mobily and be able to place a bet from your phone, and excited to put some of my knowledge to the test and see what I'm talking about on the shows will match up, and we'll see on Sunday if the parlay I'll probably play for my first bet is going to hit on Sunday.
And finally, Jim Derry, he's always got a thought or two.
Yeah, my final thought is I'm wondering what your first snookers bet is going to be, and what Devin Jackson's team of destiny is this week. Those are my two final thoughts.
I'm Googling snooker best bets. Graham Dot to win the shootout at 50-1, man. 0.5 units. Do it. Graham
You
Dot.
doing it? I'm in with you if you're going to do it.
It's a bonus bet for 50-1. I might just do it. That's the fun thing about the bonus bets. You got to feel like you're not necessarily. You want to be careful with them because you want to make money, but you also, it's typically when you bet, the first question you ask somebody when they say how much do I want to bet is, well, how much are you willing to lose? Because you have to think of it like that. You have to assume that you're going to lose. Don't bet more than you're willing to lose. That's the number one rule. But if it's a bonus bet, are you willing to lose the bonus bet? I guess is the question. And so. I don't know if I'll bet 50-1 snooker bets on Graham or not, but Martin Gold also 50-1 in the shootout.
I'm going to get into golf, and I just want to make it.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, me neither. But Uncle Big Nick told me before the golf week started not to bet on Jon Rahm or Justin Thomas. So if you look at the top of the leaderboard, I don't think it's he's
Jon
doing very
Rahm was
well
like
with
a
that.
huge favorite in that tournament, wasn't he? I don't. don't know.
Yeah,
I
he's
get the idea
winning.
of betting on a huge favorite. Well, maybe he'll win. So that, yeah, that's. By the way, I just got an email while we were on the show. We talked about the first Caesars bet in Louisiana was money line on the Bengals. I just got a note from FanDuel. The first mobile bet they took in Louisiana, a $20 two-leg parlay with the Bengals money line at plus 285 and the Rams minus 3.5. That's $20 to win 147. So interesting. A lot of Joe Burrow backers out there.
Yeah, the fact that it's hard to take what Louisianans are betting and then figure out, because across the country, I think what I heard this morning was, as of this morning, it was 80% of the tickets were Kansas City, and I think 68% of the money is on Kansas City. So I'm not sure that the money line is the best bet there, especially the money line parlay. I think you're better off taking those 7 points and not getting greedy. So if you're going to do a parlay, which a parlay is really not a great bet anyway, I think you might as well just take the points and not get greedy is my point.
Okay, don't get greedy. Just have fun. That's our final thought.
There you go. That's the best one
yeah, don't get greedy. Just have fun. That should be our tagline, I think, for Bayou Bets.
It should be. I like
this is a special inaugural edition of Bayou Bets for Louisiana Mobile Launch Day. Let us know how things are going for you. Join us Monday at 4 o'clock for the next edition of Bayou Bets. We'll recap the weekend, and we will have Super Bowl lines and props for you as well. So we're looking forward to that. For Spencer and Devin and Jim Derry, I'm Zach. Have a good day, everybody.